So going back to that example I gave on Santa Fe, I was always struck by the fact that the ground finches didn't learn from the mockingbirds how to do this. Does that surprise you?
What is really interesting is that mostly when birds learn the song, they will learn it from their father in a very short, sensitive period of time. But if their father has died and they've brought up with their mother, then during that short, sensitive period of time, they'll learn a natal neighbour. And if that natal neighbour is another species, they will learn that species' song. So they learn very good renderings of another species of Darwin's finch's song, but they never learn a mockingbird song, even though a mockingbird is there. They will never learn a yellow warbler song, but they will learn songs within the Darwin's finches. Okay. So there is some constraint somewhere. Yeah. And also this is because they learn in this very short, sensitive period for song learning. Yeah. But still there must be some constraints that they absolutely just learn Darwin's finch songs. Yeah. So again, it's a combination of behaviour, learnt behaviour, in combination with genetics. So it's a genetic environmental interaction which is extraordinarily interesting to try and tease apart. Yeah.
So when we think about Darwin's finches, we think about differences in beak size and shape and body size. But when we think about other groups of birds, like in New Guinea, the birds of paradise, you immediately think of elaborate courtship dances and elaborate plumage. It says that suggests to me that in Galapagos, what's driving evolution is something related to food, but in New Guinea, what's driving, at least in the birds of paradise, is mate selection. Do you think there are those different processes that going on?
I think there are similarities and differences. The differences, very strikingly, are the Darwin finches are monogamous, and so that's a big difference there. Yeah. The similarities is that there is mate choice, but it's based on song first of all. They mate within their species song type, but also the order of breeding shows that what matters a lot is the age and experience. The females choose males on their age and experience, and where the territories are and the type of territories. So there is mate choice there, but it isn't to the same extent as it is with brightly coloured plumage birds that are polygamous and not monogamous. Right. So that's where the similarities and differences come about.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And the birds of paradise have a different mating system too. The way in which they acquire mates is very different. The males aggregate at a lek, and they all display together, and when a female comes around, they're competing with each other for the attention of the female. The female is drably coloured, it mates, and then it goes off and it raises its young alone. Whereas for the finches, the males have a single female in their territory, one nest in the territory, and the males, tend to the nest just as the females do as well. So the mating system is completely different between these two groups of birds. And why is that? Well, that's really deep in the phylogenetic history. What I mean by that is that more than something like 20 million years ago, these two groups of birds shared a common ancestor and have diverged ever since that time. So the answer to the question, why does one group have one mating system and the other group have a different mating system, plumage is associated with the different mating systems, is very difficult to answer because it originated very early in evolutionary history. And the one other thing to be said is that in a way song is the equivalent of plumage variation in the birds of paradise. Songs differ amongst the species of Darwin's finches. Even though in plumage they are almost identical, at least they differ in song.
Yeah. Okay.